Good evening. Welcome to round 5 after the long holiday break here at ARC. This is Tier 2, and as with the rest of the races this season, Tier 1 and Tier 2 are racing at the same track. Good evening. This is round 4, Tier 2 of ARC. We are in Spain this week as Tier 1 was as well. And we are in the pits here as the cars are starting to come out. I need to get the menu up and running. I am all by my lonesome this evening for now. Maybe someone will join me. Maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for now, this is what we have. So it looks like one of the Haas's, double A, is the first one out. Followed by a couple Ferraris, a Williams. Both the Williams and the McLaren are out on track as well. So we will see. Spain's a difficult track. It's not easy by any means. We should be shooting for somewhere in the 1:15, 1:16 times for the qualifying lap. Sector 3 is going to be the difficult sector for everybody today. Can really make or break your lap. So we'll just have to see those big curbs towards the end can really upset, as well as turn 2 here, as double A invalidates there. And that tends to happen. We also cannot get 2 on the throttle there in turn 2, as it will upset the vehicle. Do my best to be entertaining, but don't expect me talking the entire time. Again, I'm by myself, so we will let the actions speak for themselves as Astro gets a little loose coming out of the hairpin. Double A getting out of the way. Don't know if I freaked Astro out or not. Astro is out on those mediums coming into Sector 3. Really want to... Ooh, and he goes very wide there. That is not going to set him up for a good exit. From the time he sets across the line here. A 1:17 flat on those mediums. That's respectable, not great, but that is a decent medium lap. I don't know if he's going to try and start on those mediums or not. Spain is a soft, hard, or something hard track. You can do a one-stop, but the softs do not last very long. MLB out. Looks like he has retired on the back BRS straight. A few drivers coming across in 118s and 117s. Hopefully they will improve as time goes on. A few more drivers coming up to the line. Still no one on those soft tires yet to beat Astro's time on the mediums. Lots of times in the 117. Second through 5th, very, very close to each other. Within 15 hundredths of a second. D's doing a little off-roading there, staying out of the way. Quick. I know Uwe is up there, and I do believe Astro I cannot remember, even though I had them up earlier. So yes, Uwe in second with 71 points. Blaze Alex is in the lead with 90 or so points. Chance for Uwe to catch up if Alex does not have a good race here. Double A putting in a much better time, albeit on used soft tires. Now, around in the game, during qualifying, it sets the tire wear rate to the 100% length, so the tires will not wear a tremendous amount in qualifying. A proper hot lap at 50% should put somewhere between 8 and 12% wear on the tires, depending on which tire, which corner of the car. But here in the qualifying, it will not put that much strain on the tires, but you still won't get that much out of them. We got 6 drivers, well, 5 I guess. MLG is out. Left set laps, and Double A has already said that's good enough. I'm done. We'll see what happens. But he did set that fastest lap on used softs, so he's only going to get a good 5 or 6 laps out of those, maybe. Alex here on a hot lap. On his medium tires, let's see what he can put in as he comes up to the 3rd sector. Getting a little loose through here, it looks like, trying to composes himself and keeps it under control. Is getting a lot of that yellow curve there, keeping it tight. Don't want to invalidate on that second to last corner. Over the line for 1:16.6 to put him in P2 for now. Very good lap to start on those mediums. Still have the second place still in the pits. Draken out on a hot lap as well. Or sorry, an out lap. He's on a hot lap on used medium tires. He's getting loose out of the hairpin. It's not going to do him any favors. Lots of people getting out of the way in slow speed corners. They really want to stay out of the way on those straights, really anticipate the next driver coming through as Dees invalidates on the second to last corner and dives into the pit immediately. Was that a wheel on the side of the pit entry? Lots of invalid laps out there. This track will test you. Lots of corners that you will get loose in. Lots of corners you will push wide in. And you have to keep it strong. I guess there's a reason they use it for testing. Looks dry, obviously, for qualifying. I'm going to assume it's dry for the race, unless someone tells me otherwise. Looks like we got a new driver on the grid. I apologize. I can only be so entertaining by myself, but I will do my best to keep up with the action. And not the driver the action as he is in Tier 1, but the racing action. We're starting... Apologize, not starting a hot lap. Finishing a lap. And there's some mass confusion here at Turn 1. This is not safe, gentlemen. Get on with it. On letting his teammate go by. Both of them on outlaps. We approach the last half of the qualifying session. Again, the time is probably not accurate, as it never is. Yes, safety car talk. We had, in T1 last night, 1 VSC and no full course safety cars, and I was surprised. I thought it would be a lot worse than that. So, major props to everyone. Let's see if Tier 2 can keep it clean as well, as Juan Saria starts his next hot lap, getting all of that curb in Turn 2, but keeping it together. Up here for the uphill right-hander. Get on the throttle as early as possible and keep the car stable. Drop down here, you really want to hug that tight in, straighten out as quickly as possible. Uphill here, you can use 4th or 5th depending on who you are, but once you get a pointed straight, just slam the throttle flat. Depending on your setup, you can stay flat here or you might have to lift. Full speed down DRS straight into the hairpin. Really want to use all of that curb on the right to open up that turn and straighten it out to get more speed into here. But he is setting a very composed lap. We'll see how third sector treats him time-wise. Comes across the line. 1 second faster for P3. Both AlphaTauri boys putting in some good times. Parker out here on very used softs. Dees and Sadis at the back of the grid, yet to set laps. Trying to put in some times. Dees goes 8th fastest. Sadist goes into the pits. And Uwe waiting till the end. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate his lap if he's going to set one. And yes, Kia, I am still selling, but Niall might want it. I'm going to turn off my messaging overlays. There we go. Uwe is now headed out, finally, for his lap. On medium tires, let's see where he ends up. stay on board here with Uwe for his lap. He is currently P2 in the championship behind Alex, who's currently in P5 for the race, but getting beat out by a lot of drivers. Let's see what kind of lap he can put in on these mediums here. DRS very open coming into turn 1. You want to straddle that curb and use as much of turn 1 there and turn 2. Very good. Keeping it nice and tight to the inside here for turn 3. Opening up for the straight down here into the uphill turn 4. McLaren getting out of the way here. Get on the throttle as soon as you like. Up into here, 6th to 7th. Down into 2nd, keeping it nice and tight. Short shifting up to get a lot of traction down. Coming down into very tricky. The curves can be very upsetting here, and he keeps it together. You want to try and stay flat here if you can. And you can use a little bit of the curb on the outside, but not too much because you will invalidate. Coming down to the hairpin, dropping it back down in a second. You want to get that wheel cranked over and back straight as soon as possible. Straddle the curb here. Kind of treat this like a double right-hander. Really want to get some acceleration coming into here. Down into 3rd, getting up. Crank it left, crank it right. Get as much as you can, and he has given up. He's going to try again. He was not happy with that lap, so he will do it again. Driver coming out of the pits there. Juan Soria trying to get ready for another lap. Well, luckily the mediums can last quite a bit around here, so having him do 2 laps on the mediums not too bad, as opposed to a couple of drivers who have softs. Astro setting the fastest lap by about 1.5 tenths on those softs. Uwe currently coming in here he is just faster than the pace coming into sector 3. Let's see if he likes the rest of this lap and decides to actually put in a time, or if he's going to do a run for last to first here and pick up that driver of the day. Flat out through the end. Goes P6, not a bad position. His tires are about a second off the pace, so he's actually doing quite good for the mediums considering Astro's time. SoCal looking to set another lap. Juan is retired, his teammate. We'll see SoCal Blazer can put in. We've still got a few other drivers. Alex also out there trying to set another lap. As number 1 in the standings, Alex is really going to have his work cut out for him today with all these drivers if he cannot find pace around here. But, you know, it is a long season, but it will give Uwe quite a chance to catch up. As SoCal crosses the line, he does improve, but not enough to matter. Sadis retiring without setting a lap. MLG at the back as well for DNFing, I believe. Or he just gave up. I'm not sure which. We weren't on board. And waiting for a couple more drivers to retire. And then we will see what happens. The P1 and P2 starting from P7 and P6 here respectively so far. Lots of drivers in front of them with decent pace around here, so anything can happen as long as they keep it clean. I think the rest of the field has a good chance to put a huge dent in their current championship lead. Place your bets in the chat now. Sorry, I'm eating. I try to mute while I'm eating. The chips are good. They're guacamole Takis. Lewis Hammond Pineapple Pizza Tin. That's very, very funny. Yeah, I think safety cars are a very strong possibility around Spain. It is not a fun track, as we are here for the formation lap, where I re-enable all the stuff that Codemasters has decided I didn't need from one session to the next. So there we are. We'll watch position changes for quite a little bit, and we will switch over to tires and off every once in a while, because the UI here is so cluttered, so very cluttered. As Astro has decided, I'm just going to get this lap done and over with. I kind of feel the same way about formation laps, because the game does not treat tire warming as it should. Most importantly, though, you really want to ride the brakes through Sector 3 and get them nice and toasted. Because they will cool down quite a lot into turn 1 and make sure that they are functioning at their optimum for turn 1, so you don't slam into the guy behind you and cause that safety car we may or may not want. Dry, overcast until 45. Full rain, possibly towards the end of the race. Well, the races are somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 45 minutes long, and the rain could come early or late. It could tell us rain at 45, and hell, it could come 20 minutes in. We have no idea, so this could get pretty interesting. Drivers are forming up for the grid here at Catalunya. We got 5 drivers in front of the championship leaders. Championship leaders are about one first place away from each other, and P2 is about 40 points away. Sorry, 30 or 40 points away from P3. As we get set for 5 lights out here in Spain, cross your fingers and pray for a safe turn 1. And there we go. It doesn't look like Astro got a very good start as AA takes off, and there is already an Alpha in the background spinning around as AA is now well into turn 1 ahead of everyone else. We are going 4 wide here into turn 1, but they keep it together for the meantime as a Racing Point goes off and tries to keep nice and safe. The safety car was going to come turn lap 1. It should have come already. We are going 3 wide here right now as the Ferrari, one of the Ferraris gets off into the dirt, and we're coming down. The field is starting to spread out a little bit. That's their strategy. Thank you, AWS. Uwe gaining 4 positions off the start. AA, an incredible start now with a commanding 1.5 second lead so far. A few drivers changing hands here and there, but Uwe and AA are really benefiting from this. Uwe kind of leading the pack for the rest of them, AA walking away from the field. He's really turned it up to 11 right now, and he's going to want to keep that up to keep these guys out of his DRS. As we come around for the final corner, there is a yellow flag in Sector 3. Not sure what happened there, a little bit of contact possibly because all the drivers are still moving. And the Haas of Eric is going into the pits. He probably lost an end plate. That will happen. Lap 2 here. All the drivers quite close to each other. SoCal through Parker here. atmosphere. We're dropping down. 3 drivers in the pits, probably for new changes, most likely. So, probably be going on those hard tires. Drivers are running for now. Once they start hitting, we will check back in a little bit, about 5 or 6 laps. Double A now 2.2 seconds off the freeway. Let's see if we can keep that up. So the fastest lap so far. Astro right on the back of SoCal. DRS is not enabled yet. It was enabled upon this lap, so they don't get it for the straight, but they will get it for the next one. Astro will be looking for a move on SoCal coming up to the next straight as Alex is turned around the wrong way. Ooh, that is not going to be good for him. Well, maybe he can throw on some hards and get in for the long haul. Just keep his head down and maybe make some moves. He's got the speed and he gets a 5-second corner cutting penalty to boot. So I'm betting he's thrilled right about now. Trying to keep together on the back of SoCal. Cricket Sushi also on the back of Juan Soria. Both of these gentlemen will be looking for moves in this very long straight. Cricket is all over the gearbox of Juan. Juan gets a decent exit, but Cricket will have that DRS, but Juan also has DRS. Pizza Parker. Set him off and put Cricket more on his gearbox right now. Alex in the pits wing. And he's holding that 5-second penalty that he got, putting on the hards and a new wing. We'll check back with him later. Juan Soria going a little wide into turn 5 or 6, I believe. Side by side with Cricket Sushi here. Cricket Sushi makes a move to get by. Both of them will have DRS. His Trash Panda gets a good exit. He's going to go down the inside of Juan. He is definitely giving him space, and they almost touch tires here. Coming into Sector 3. Juan is on the inside. Cricket all over Pizza Parker. A little bit of lockup from Cricket Sushi. Juan staying ahead of Trash Panda for now. This DRS train for 5th. The yellow flag at Sector 2, just a slow driver. Cricket Sushi going in for a move on Pizza Parker down the inside. Pizza Parker not having any of it. He said, "This is my position. I would like to keep it, please." And Cricket loses out a little bit. He must have had a little trouble there into that turn as the positions do not change here for the battle for 5th. But Cricket is still trying to take P5, and Pizza Parker lets him have it. His Trash Panda moves past Juan Soria. These guys are going to fight for that EV 500, picking up 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. I'm gonna watch that line, boys. Cricket Sushi gaining a little bit. Let's see if he can keep that plus 1 second over Pizza Parker and avoid DRS. As Trash Panda gets by Pizza Parker, what is happening to Pizza Parker? He is dropping back from 5th now to 7th rather. With Juan Soria all over the back room. Trash Panda now outside of the DRS range. Sushi, Juan Saria, Pete Parker going into the pits. Maybe he had wing damage. It's only lap 6. He's just getting some tires. Nothing wrong with his wing, it looks like. Sushi does pick up a 3-second penalty for multiple track extension warnings as he is sideways in the grass. That's a tough break, bud. Spain is really biting tier 2 hard today. And D's now moves up into 7th. DRS range of Juan Saria, so a bit too far back to make a move, but he is one of the only drivers in range. Atmosphere, also within range of DRS on Sadist. Drivers are starting to spread out. We should see some pit stops starting to happen soon as the soft tire runners will start to lose their tire life, and of course people do not have the telemetry. Astro with 6-lap tires, although he was starting on 2-lap old tires, he is at 50 to 60% wear. So we are going to see some pit stops from everybody here pretty soon. Driving without ABS. How to do it. Do it more, and you will get better. I'm having some frame problems. This does not make any sense. I blame F1 2020. Apologies, I am attempting to figure out why my computer is having a conniption fit. Just turning a few things off. That is not what I wanted. My stream is experiencing issues, and I'm not sure why. I have a very strong machine, so again, I blame something. While we were here, Uwe up into 2nd place. Astro falling back. Those tires are very worn. 70% and 69 nice on the front, and 60 and 51 on the right-hand side. We are starting to see some position changes happening. The pit stop from the leader is now about 8th place. We'll see what these guys can do. Sadist up 12 positions so far. Atmosphere and Rad up 7. Uwe still up 4, and Double A still up 1 in the front. Trashman also up 7 positions. And our top performers from qualifying down after some very upsetting mistakes. These guys are really pushing these tires. They are not doing themselves any favors by staying out on tires this worn. And we have a VSC for what appears to be a McLaren Atmosphere DNFing in the 3rd sector. Rest in peace, Atmosphere. Let's see if we can spot his car up here. Nope, it has vanished. VSC, also a good time to come into the pits if you need to, as you will save a little bit of time. We are still under virtual safety car. And no, we are not anymore. I don't know if it's just holding along for me because that's what the game likes to do. Because you get that spectator bug. Some sort of weird delay on some of the timing stuff. Status now within DRS range on the back of Chewy. Be looking for a move. Neither of them should be pitting right now, so they should be staying out. As the leaders are starting to pit, the soft tire leaders starting to pit. And Double A has gone on to intermediates. I know it's raining a little bit, but alright, so that makes sense as to why they were staying out on those tires so long. Trying to take the dry tires as long as they possibly could to the rain, and Double A had enough, and he's going to go out on these intermediates. He is going to lose a lot of time, and I cannot tell what his tire wear will be because his telemetry is still not set to public. I am shaming anyone that doesn't set it. But as the rain starts to fall here, not 45 minutes into the race, you might notice, as I said before, after picking up a 3-second time penalty there should be quite a decent amount of penalties in everyone's way. As Double A is getting passed on those intermediates by dry runners, and he is now sideways getting passed by dry runners. Rest in peace, buddy. It would have been better for him to pit early to go into another set of dry tires and then wait until it was really necessary for the rain. Yeah, it's too early to pit, but I think he was tired of his tires being so worn, so he decided to go on something else. It would have been better for him to pit on the dry tires until it was really time for intermediates. It'll be time for intermediates when DRS is disabled and your lap times start to fall drastically 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds slower on dry tires than what you would normally be setting. Second here or there, not a big deal. But once they really start falling off, that's when you want to pit. So Double A getting a wing change now and staying on intermediate tires. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But Sadist here on the back of Quirk, looking for a move for fourth. DRS is still enabled. He has got Chewy all over the back of him as well. Yes, traction, it's a little slippery out there because of the weather, but it is still dry tire. It's still time for the dry tires. You can see them taking it nice and easy into turn one. Not flat out here where you normally could be. They got a feathered throttle to keep it in the right direction. So we should probably see some intermediates being more effective in a lap or two, depending on how hard it's going to fall. We do have these two soft runners who have their telemetry off, so who knows what the tire wear is like. But they seem to be holding it together for now. Taking it nice and easy. Uwe is coming in for his pit stop. So it looks like Double A did make a mistake because he pit again and is now on soft tires. what he can really hope for is a safety car, bunch his field back up, get some of these guys together, because we are looking at 3 drivers who have now been lapped already. As Sadis going for a move on Uwe. Sadis still on those hards. Uwe electing to go on to the intermediates. He is getting absolutely walked away from by dry tire runners right now. Those intermediates do not have the traction. And double A is a big red X for me as well. He is a ghost. I don't know if double A retired, and that's his ghost driving. As OOA going very wide. Those mediums, or sorry, those intermediates were not the right choice. Wait until DR. Ooh, so the car's there losing it, it looks like. There's a racing point and something else. Do not put the intermediates on until around the time when DRS will be disabled. It might be drizzling, the track might be damp, dry tires are still going to be the best. So, checking in with our championship leaders. Uwe on intermediates, losing vast amounts of time. Alex back in 12th place after some issues. Now up to 11th. A lot of the field looking to put in a lot of good work here and get some points and really close that gap up and make this season a lot more interesting for the second 4-week period. It's right on board with Rad. He's going for a move on Uwe on those intermediates. Uwe having all sorts of traction issues. Yeah, vane raise, if you want to learn how to do manual and want to learn ABS and want to learn no traction, just do them and just drive. Go to a time trial, practice session, doesn't matter, and just drive around the track over and over and over again until you get it. That's the only way to learn, is to do it. It'll come pretty fast and you'll know what gear for what turn in no time at all. Go watch some of the F1 YouTubers, see what they do. Pay attention to some of the drivers here. But the only way to learn it is to just do it. Juan's tire wear is unknown because he has his telemetry set to private, so we don't know. We're having some frame issues again. I'm not dropping any frames, I'm just losing them. I'm not sure why. DRS is still enabled, guys, so really not the time. We're just going to ride on board and enjoy some F1 service for a little bit. While Rad is attempting to get past Mr. Quirk. SoCal looking for a move on Rad here. Well, Rad dodged into the pits, and it's going to give SoCal some free DRS to catch up to Quirk here. Quirk having some traction issues. That's to be expected on 16-lap old soft tires. Those things have got to be ready to explode. Brad going in for intermediates. Juan going in for intermediates. Trash Panda pit and is still on the hards. I don't know why people keep going on the intermediate tires, but they are handing this race to everybody else. Take that back. Juan is on hards. Not sure why it said intermediates there. Uwe has elected to come back off the intermediates and onto the hards. Hashtag don't listen to Jeff for everything. Drakenwolf retiring. Looks like he had some issues in Sector 3. Not sure who is coming up on him right now. He is off to the side there. A little VSC action right now. Good time to pit if you need to. Pardon me. VSC, you can save about 10 seconds or so on a pit stop as it slows everybody down. So if you're right there, duck in, get it done, and then get back on the road. We are going green again. Juan going back into the pits. Might be about time for that intermediate changeover that nobody could wait for. Astro DNFing. Ooh, he looks like he ate a wall pretty hard there. And Chewy getting sideways. Uwe has got the RPM though. No safety car of any kind for Astro's corpse off to the side of the road. Interesting game. You give us one for Drakenwolf pulled off into a marshal post, but we don't get one for a car literally on tarmac in the way, but whatever. Somebody is messaging me in Discord. Thanks, Atmosphere. I'm trying. I don't like talking to myself. Well, I like talking to myself. I don't like having conversations with myself. But I can talk about things that are happening. Alex out here on medium tires. I don't know, that must have been a mistake. Everybody else on the intermediates, so I'm assuming it's time for the intermediates. A very odd choice. And double AA also, I guess he had enough of his intermediate tires before. He's on softs. Yeah, 5th gear, 30% throttle. Yellow flag action for one of the racing points. That's Indy 500 here, having a bit of a traction issue. Not quite sure if his wing is okay or not, but it is not. Well, here we are more than halfway through the race. And the rain has come way earlier than 45 minutes. As it does. I feel like the weather is slightly more accurate in real life, but who knows? MLG God giving Quirk quite the taparoo on his gearbox there after DNFing. In qualifying, he is now up into 7th position. So let's see if he can hold it together, get some decent points. My points finish is always my goal for Spain. Don't get into an accident and get some points. I'm happy at Spain. Especially if it's raining. You know, the rain in Spain falls earlier than 45 minutes. It's almost like driving in actual traffic with the accordion, like, who's more brave? Well, unfortunately, the rain does kind of make for boring racing. We'll see what we can get out of it. Since they can take these tires all the way to the end, and everybody should be on intermediates by now, except Alex. He said screw it. Well, let's not worry about him. Work going into the pits as well. Is the rain supposed to stop? Can anyone chime in on that? Because sometimes they say rain only for a couple more laps. And you can go on the you can go onto some dry tires early. Work as a drive-through, probably from that VSC. Well, what about Alex? Why is Alex not on intermediate tires? What does he know that we don't? Or was it just a mistake? He's accepted his fate. He's going on the pits, probably for intermediate tires. So, I spoke too soon. And serving a 5-second penalty. Yep, going on the intermediates. Good job, pit crew. Well, Pete Parker up into 2nd place for his fan club out there. Sadist leading the race by 6 seconds now, and Rad is in 3rd. That's all I'm going to say, because Rad has had some bad luck, but I'm going to jinx him right now by saying if he can hold it together, he can get a podium finish. Some of the usual suspects, Trash Bandit, SoCal Blazer in a decent position, but our championship leader is down in 13th out of the points. Our P2 and P8. Going to lose a lot of points to some of these guys. We are going to have quite a shift in the standings. All thank you to S. Payne. So more and more drivers starting to get lapped by the field. Rain is the great equalizer. Let's get some nice sound here. Well, I'm at a loss now. I don't see a lot of battling happening. I don't see a lot of, for the rest of the race, I don't see a lot of anything happening for the next 10 laps unless there's a problem. I don't think these positions will change. Obviously, anything can happen. Our new driver, Mr. Parker, coming in. He is gaining on Sadist. He's got a half a second since the last time we checked in, so a couple laps. He's got a chance. He can pick it up just a little bit. Rad falling off just a little bit, but not losing too much out to Trash Panda, who does have penalties. So not too much to worry about there for Rad if Trash Panda does get by. Let's check on those penalties, shall we? 6 seconds for Pizza Parker. He's kind of stuck in second unless he can clear 12 seconds total. 5 seconds for Trash Panda. Rest of the field, looking like we might see some positions change hands down towards P8 to P10, but we'll have to see what happens. We still have 9 more laps to go. Oops. Checking in from our position changes, Sadist up 19 positions into first. From last to first. Keeping it clean, and we do have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like one of the AlphaTauris going very, very slow. It should be Juan. Juan off the side of the road, having some problems. Trying not to get in the way. Pardon me. Oh, he is on full wets. Oh no, what have you done? It is not full wet tire weather. There is a dry line. It is intermediate. Do not listen to Jeff. We've seen a lot of drivers go onto the wet tires. Don't know if that's a good move or not. They are having quite a lot of trouble with traction on those full wet tires. Everyone's Jeff is telling them to come in for the full wets. There doesn't appear to be a lot of standing water on the racing line. I'm not quite sure if that's necessary. Full wets don't mean full traction. They're for standing water. But I guess if everybody goes on to them, then it is what it is. Let's check in with our current race leader, who's going into the pits. Pizza Parker is staying out. We will see if this pays off or not. See if we can get some kind of undercut, overcut. I don't know who you are. Flag in sector 3. Looking like a caution, a Red Bull over there. Causing some trouble. Probably just getting loose, getting off track. They're moving at a decent speed. A yellow flag in sector 2. Probably just for drivers heading off the track. And it causes those yellow flags to come up when they extend the track a little bit too much and get in the grass or something like that. Even if they compose themselves and keep it together, it will still pop a yellow flag just for general caution. It's Parker coming around here to sector 3. We'll see if he pits or stays out. Sadist has been gaining time on him. So I guess the game has decided full wets are the tire to beat. And Pizza Parker goes in. See what the interval is here on the way out. I'll wait until about sector 2 to really determine what it is. Does look like Pizza Parker made up some time on those intermediates versus the wets. He was sitting over 5 seconds behind him, and now he is within around 4.5 seconds. Heat shield is still out on the intermediates. The other driver showing those wet tires. Not making too many moves here. This is rain always makes things kind of interesting strategy-wise, because there's always a time period between the dry and the intermediate and the wets where is it the right choice? Is this the fastest tire? Is this going to be bad? And then of course, does the rain come to an end? Especially if it starts to teeter out right towards the end, you're still on intermediate tires and someone else is going on the dries, and you don't know is this the best move. We'll see how things go. Sadist and Pizza Parker pretty steady on pace, pretty well matched on pace rather with each other. Hasn't changed since the beginning of the lap. So I don't know, Pizza Parker might have been able to stay out on those intermediates. We will never know. Should we go into the pits now? I really wish I had someone to talk to. Kind of uncomfortable trying to fill the silent void. Plays Alex picking up a 3-second time penalty. This is not going to help his vie for actual points this race. But you might want to chalk this one up to, oh well. Just a race. Just one race out of 12. We'll probably be okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Thanks, though. I mean, it's fine. I don't really like my mom, so I mean, it doesn't upset me.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Astro. Welcome.
What's
Well,
going
first,
on?
what happened?
So, man, I slipped on the hards. I didn't pit on the VSC, and my race engineer and I were talking about it, and I spun into that turn.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what turn number it is. My apologies, but I hit the wall, and everything was fine. And when I put the car in reverse, it took out my wing and broke my suspension instantly. Clipped it. So I was DNF'd. I hit the wall going 17 kilometers an hour.
F1 2020 physics.
Yeah, so, but I mean, besides that, it was pretty solid. I mean, the wet kind of caught me out, but that's what it is.
Well, you had a good qualifying, and Spain's one of those tracks. But yeah, I mean, everyone's on the wet tires right now. No one's making any overtakes. No one's able to make any overtakes. So
No, yeah, I will say, I think that with the wet, it really kind of shows how much, like, impact, for example, yesterday, the penalties were. Whereas today, I mean, Pizza Parker, I believe, has 6 seconds. Let's see. I need to know about
yes, he does have
penalties.
6 seconds.
Yeah, 6 seconds. So I mean, even the 6 seconds, right, with a 24-second gap there, right? The gaps have really formed. Whereas like last night in the dry, it was much easier to see how close and impactful those penalties were. So I was kind of disappointed because when I was, practicing for a track like this, you kind of have the idea that you want to be the cleanest, even if you're not the fastest, because that could also win you the race.
Yeah,
Um,
this track is a definitely a penalty magnet. Probably three
Nightmare,
or four
yeah.
turns that everybody really extends all the time.
So it's either, you're losing the car, or even there were a couple catches I had tonight, where you're pushing the car as fast as you can, but you also have to acknowledge the fact that these track limits do not play games.
Yeah,
See,
lots
get
of
on my map. There we go. Everything enabled. I
this,
will say, Sadis starting from the back, P19, they started P20. He's made up 19 positions. So that's pretty remarkable. I'm not gonna lie. I did not realize how far Sadis had worked his way through the pack here this evening. And what you got as well. The Renaults tonight have really shown pace. We'll see what it looks like by the end here. The interval between UA and MOG God being about 9 seconds. So even with penalties, I think that MOG will probably keep that position.
yeah, we've had Sadist with 19 positions, Trash Panda with 8, Pizza Parker with 6, MLG 14, Rad 10, and interestingly, OA at the same place that he started, and also EV500 also in the same place that he started. So a little interesting. A few other
At least they're
moves.
consistent, right?
Yeah. So Uwe will still get okay points, but Alex down there in 10th. And less than a second.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go for a move here on Rikitsushi.
Only a lap and a half left to go. 2 laps, I guess, for them. They're coming around for sector 1 here. Oh, Trash Panda picking up another 3-second time penalty. Alex is well, let's check on their penalties real
He's
quick.
right there with them.
They both have 6 seconds of penalties, so if he gets by him, that's a position.
And Alex here looking to keep his spot as first place, I believe, in the championship. Making Ferrari. This is a rough race for the team, I will say. We have tend to at least put points on the board. It looks like he might look on the outside. He's gonna concede and back down to Krikitsushi. He's gonna keep the position as we go into the last couple of turns in sector 1. Oh, Krikitsushi goes off track. Blaze Alex is gonna pick up P9. Only 25 seconds to Quirk.
It looks like Alex nudged him and spun him out, so we're probably going to expect a report for that. That's unfortunate for Krikitsushi. He has had some big ups and some big downs recently. As Alex now the next car to be lapped. As he starts the final lap.
his final lap here. What a great race, as I said, from him and MLG God. And Renault's really showing their pace around this track this evening, even in the wet. Well done to them. You see, I mean, there's no real battles. It looks like it might come down to, I mean, everyone from P8 through P13 here has penalties of some sort. So let's see. Most of them 6 seconds, even at that. Quirk 6 seconds. Blaze Alex 6 seconds. Deez 6 seconds. Cricket 6 seconds. Chewy 3 seconds. Good for him. Juan also another 6. So I mean, a lot of these guys here, I think, are going to be fine. MLG God though actually having 6 seconds. Ua having 3. I guess I was going to say he might actually overtake him, but it's not going to happen. SoCal has some potential here, maybe, but we will have to see at the end. I can't tell if this is saying Trash Pan has laughed, everybody. Is the first 3 actually laughed?
I don't believe so.
Am I reading this right? The interval? 1 lap?
No,
Trash
Alex.
Panda?
No.
That's what I thought.
Alex was the last one, the most recent one lap. But Sadis now crossing the line, taking P1, no penalties. Pizza Parker on his debut, coming in for P2. He's going to hold on to that one even with 6 seconds of penalties. And Trash Panda, 19 seconds behind him with 8 seconds of penalties. He is going to lose his P3 to SoCal Blazer, who has no penalties.
SoCal. Yep. Keeping it clean. I will say, a little bit of lag coming from SoCal tonight, but, you know, good to see. No penalties, at least. This is one of those that, just like I said, you know, sometimes the penalties can win you that podium, that extra spot there. So, congrats to him. I want to say this is one of his first podiums with us this season, at least.
MLG crossing the line, OOA crossing the line, Rad coming in, no penalties as well. Very good, solid P7. Work now, just coming up to the hairpin, so we got a little bit of ways to go for the rest of the field. Before he finishes, he is the last one to receive the checkered flag. Alex was lapped, so he is currently in P9. But that is
You're good.
that's your race finish here for Spain as Quirk takes his time finishing up the race.
Brings it home. Well done.
And that is it. The Spanish Grand Prix. Very wet one. Sadist, you know what? I'm going to agree with the game here. No penalties. 19th to first. 20th to first? I can't remember where he started.
Yeah. He made up 19 positions. So that's I couldn't tell. Was he 19 or was he straight in the back?
Now, he got, whether he's 20th or 19th, it really doesn't matter. But, you know, you have other drivers around him getting penalties. Or not penalties. Making mistakes. Having to pit multiple times. Putting on the wrong tires. And he just did well. And stayed consistent. And didn't get any penalties. Made the right choices at the right times. And it paid off. You know, doesn't have the fastest lap. You know, but it doesn't, when it starts raining like that, it doesn't matter. If you make a bad choice, it's all over. And he only did 2 stops. And you look at the only other driver on the grid that did 2 stops was Quirk. And you with one, well, you DNF'd, so it doesn't count, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. Oh, man, I felt so good tonight, too. Oh, game hates me, but congrats to our 3 Sadist, great race, man. You know, Pizza Parker and his debut, like you said, congrats to him. Always a good feeling to do well in your first race. SoCal, his second podium this season, so another P3 for him, looking to bump some points up in the championship here in Tier 2. I wonder where this is going to put Alex, because he's gotten first at every other race short of Zandvoort. He got second, so he's been pretty dominant. But SoCal is SoCal, Sadis, they're not far behind. You know,
Sadist will
those
pick
two are
up
really close.
Sadist will pick up 25 points here, and that'll put him at 56. But he will still be behind Uwe and Alex. But there's quite a gap from everyone else that he's shrunken up there. Uwe only getting, he finished seventh, sixth. So he's going to get 8 points. That'll put him at 79. Alex getting 1 point today.
Yes.
So that'll, put him at 98. So, you know, the gap is shrinking. It could have been worse. But again, it's going to change more in the midfield a lot. And next week is Baku.
Baku.
So
I'm
that
so
will,
nervous.
yeah, that'll
I'm
put.
so nervous. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I guess statistically we have had less safety cars in tier one. No shade, but maybe a little shade. Um, so it'll be interesting to see in a track like that how clean or unclean we see from everybody. It'll be interesting to see next week. So Sunday and Monday, make sure you're checking out tier one and tier two.
Yeah, Baku will be interesting. Usually a dry race. It'd be funny if it rains there because that'll just make me cry quite a lot. Not too horrible at Baku. I mean, as long as you, again, another track. As long as you don't make mistakes, you'll probably be fine.
Right?
Uh, yeah, and that's about it. So, thanks everybody. I
Yep.
hope you enjoyed this.
Thanks
Um,
for watching, guys. We appreciate the support from all the tier two drivers. I know I DNF, so I got to hang out here with Righteous tonight, but we appreciate it very much.
yeah, I mean, it was good. Quite a lot of interesting things happening. Strategy with the rain. It says 45 minutes, but then it starts coming like lap 12.
Yeah, we got out on track and it was like, all right, race like rain in 10 to 15. Okay. And then we were just going. I mean, it didn't tell me to put on inters until the lap like crashed. So I want to say it was like 18. It didn't even say like it was that was the first lap, but it suggested me to go on inters because Rose and I were trying to decide, should I go in on the VSC? And then I decided to stay out just because I didn't make the call fast enough and the hards didn't feel terrible because it was slick, but you never know. And then unfortunate set of events followed that.
Well,
So we'll never know.
we got 7 races left. Anything can happen.
True.
So thanks for hanging out with me at least for a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Thanks everybody. I will see you later. I just
All right. Have a great night.
thanks, man.